no football and international break. Sounds shit, but as a West Ham fan, this is probably one of the few times where I don't give a shit about it. In the international break, where I was actually moaning when the fixtures were postponed due to the Queen dying and we didn't get to play games, but I'm kind of glad we didn't play Newcastle because despite them drawing a lot, we probably would have been their second win. So it is what it is. And yeah, we've got some news to talk about. West Ham news that are kind of related and kind of not related to West Ham. Such as Mark Noble taking sporting director role in January. This was always going to happen because in there were always hints towards this in interviews by David Moyes and Mark Noble himself. But before the Man City game when we drew 2-2 with them on Noble's last home game, David Moyes, along with a lot of other people, said their good luck messages in a compilation video that was done by West Ham. And Mark Noble, David Moyes said, good luck on your retirement and see you soon, something like that. And from then, we always knew he was going to come back. And now he's back at a sporting director role, and it will start in January. There's a lot. He's had probably have a 6-month period of spending time with his family and all that, and obviously he won't have to have a certain diet, so you can have a beer at Christmas because that's what he's always wanted. That's what he's always said. He misses having a beer at Christmas, which I get, or just like a chill with the family at Christmas, stuff like that. So West Ham are delighted to announce that Mark Noble to return to the club in the role of sports director. The Hammers legend will officially start in this post on January the 2nd, 2023. So it's just him and the owner have come out with some quotes, and so have David Moyes. And yeah, he's going to probably be the barrier of in between of the people on the pitch and the people off the pitch, and he does have the club's best interest at heart. I'm not really for ex-players getting jobs, but this makes so much sense just because he was already getting involved with stuff off the pitch. Like, I don't want Mark Noble to be West Ham manager one day, because I don't want an ex-player to be our manager that people like, because there will be a conflict of interest. And let's say Mark Noble goes 20 games without a win, they'll still say give him time, because it's stuff like that. You see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Man United, they couldn't see blindly through the 99 goal that he scored all those years ago, but he was actually just a shit manager. But people always defend him because of how legendary he was at the club. And yeah, it's good to see him back. But yeah, I just saw a statement. For some reason, they posted a Premier League statement about criminal behaviours at large stadiums. I don't think anyone gives a shit about that news. But an ex-player has retired today, and that is Winston Reid. I'm actually gonna go on the website now because they played Australia, New Zealand, and they lost. Apparently, they lost. So yeah, Winston Reid didn't even fucking come on, so he didn't even get to play. But he used to be probably the only New Zealand player I knew, apart from Chris Wood. And yeah, he was actually a good centre-back for us. I won't say too much. I've got a video coming up that not involves him. I don't know him, but where I will be mentioning him in November. But yeah, Winston Reid has also retired. So good luck to him. He had that injury that fucked him. He was an icon for me. He wasn't a legend, obviously, but he participated in the game against Man United, the last game at the Bowling Ground. He scored that last-minute goal against Sunderland. He scored loads of headers. He's defended a lot of good games. He was a key part in our promotion season, in the 11-12 season. 11-12 season? Yeah, 11-12 season. in a championship where we won the playoff trophy, the playoff final, which is good. I always liked him, but the injuries, like, he had to go one day. He only went last year. He was on loan at Brentford at one point, helped them get promoted. I don't know how much of a part he played. I don't remember. But I think some fans liked him. So yeah. And yeah. So moving on forwards, we're gonna have to talk about West Ham Twitter accounts. Okay, let's talk about West Ham Twitter. And what I don't get about West Ham Twitter is there's never context to any situation that happens. So here's what I'm gonna say. People already doing their 11s for the Wolves game. What I will say is, if you think Aaron Cresswell, Vladimir Sufal, Jared Bowen, Thomas Souček and Pablo Fornals should be starting still at West Ham, right now anyway, what world are you living in? Aaron Cresswell, and like the players I mentioned, they should play when we're playing on transition. They should play against the big six teams, because they only seem to perform against the big six teams nowadays. And all of these players have been shit. I've seen people try to defend Cresswell as in, like, he hasn't been that bad and he's key to our build-up. Build-up? We have build-up? Against Everton, I saw, like, 2 good passages of play that didn't lead to anything. We didn't even get a shot on target on any of them. Aaron Cresswell tries things that you can't do. He tries to play and build-up, as in be part of the build-up. He tries to tuck in into a back three sometimes. Sometimes he tries to be an inverted guy that cuts into the midfield because he can't overlap nowadays, which leaves players like Fornals and Benrahma in 1v1 situations, which neither of them can do. I'm not... Also, speaking of Fornals, I'm not giving him the excuse of, oh, he's playing well on the left. Because as much as I would prefer him to play in the middle, don't get me wrong, what has he done that's extraordinary in the middle? He doesn't do anything. So if you can play on the left wing against FCSP, where everyone's championing you, and you do one back heel, and they post it on Twitter, and everyone thinks you're some glorious winger, and then you play bad against a Premier League team, all the time on the left wing, but now he's not a left winger. But he's the connector, he's the... Like, people don't understand the role he plays. That guy tweeted, that pisses me off, man. I don't also get West Ham Twitter that you're either Moyes in or Moyes out and you're always one side or the other. I'm Moyes in, but if he keeps playing these players, like Souček, that costs us in the midfield, and he doesn't play the new players, and Jared Bowen is carrying on, even though he's on bad form, and you're not really treating everyone the same doing that. Excuse me. Then he's going to cost his own job. He's going to cost his own job, and I want him to stay, but you're going to cost your own job playing these players. And I really don't get that. I don't get playing players that are out of form. I don't get sticking up for players when they're shit, when they're playing shit. I don't get the concept of Jared Bowen getting an England call-up either, so I'm assuming he's going to get called up for the World Cup. I don't understand that, but whatever. As a West Ham player at the World Cup, I guess I've got to champion him just for the sake of it, because that's what fans do, I guess. But yeah, you don't need to be one way or the other. You don't need to sit on a fence. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to be on a side. You don't need to follow the crowd. You don't need to do anything. And the last thing I'll say, stop putting in your 11s 3 at the back just because you want to change your system. We don't do well with 3 at the back unless the other team's playing 3 at the back or 5 back. Whatever. Either way, it doesn't work. Because our wing backs don't fucking push up. You know when every time I see us have the ball or off the ball, like let me talk on the ball for a second. On the ball, literally, the wing backs are just as deep as the fucking centre backs. So there's literally 5 people that are just next to each other. So nobody is moving. Nobody. You get Rice pick up the ball, then you've got to pass it back to the centre back because he's getting pressured and no wing back is helping him and no attacker's actually drawing people out. Cornet and Skamaka will make a run and nobody's going to ping the ball. This is why we need Nair for Gerd back, or this is why we need to play Tino Kera pretty much every game because they're the only 2 centre backs that can pass like that. Sometimes Zuma does it. Dawson tries, he can't. And Ogbona's not that guy that does that, really. That pings a ball like that. There's so much to address with this fucking club. And let me talk off the ball. I spotted this against Frankfurt where we tried to press as a 5-2-1-2. Or how would I describe it? Like a 3-4-1-2. But the problem with that is, so you got, like, let's say against Frankfurt, for example, it was Antonio Bowen, and then you've got Lanzini right behind them. All Frankfurt needs to do is just pass it to one of their centre mids, and then we're outnumbered in the midfield, and we're caught, and they've got possession. That's what happened against Silkeborg as well. The reason why it worked against Viborg is because on the ball, we ended up being in a diamond formation. That could work. If you want to do that system, I'm fine with that. Because we had Fornals at wing-back, who didn't play bad then. Well, I wouldn't say he played the best. But he didn't play bad, and his role was key in that. We had Lanzini. We had, who else played that game? Souček played that game. He did okay that game, to be fair to him. And I think Benrahma played behind Cornet and Skamaka. But he had like a free role. If you want to do that system, that's fine. But the reason why 3 at the back doesn't work is because we're playing possession football now. If this was counter-attacking football, going back to the 5 back, going back to the 5-4-1 we played against Wolves and Leicester, when we beat them 4-3-0, and when we got a comeback against Tottenham, and when we beat Wolves and Leicester on the reverse fixtures as well. That Lingard season, where we played well against Man City but lost 2-1. That part. If you want to just go counter-attack it again, I'm fine with that because that worked. I'm fine with it. I didn't care. I don't care about style of play. I don't care about style of play. But if you're going to have a style of play, make it effective. Just make it work. I don't care what style of play it is. I'm not one of these fans that we must play good football. We must play possession football. We're playing possession football. It doesn't work. If you guys did like the video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. That is all I have to say on the West Ham news coming up. I will have a video next week, depending on what the news is. And then we're back to normal in the Premier League and the European football stages where you'll get normal match reactions. Subscribe if you're new. We're on 81 subscribers. I'm looking to hit 100 by the end of the year. It's unlikely because we are in September. But if you can support, please support. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe and leave a like on the video. So yeah, the social medias will be in the description, and yeah, that'll be it from me. I'll see you guys later.